Hey y'all, what's up? This is Rosie, and I was just sitting here thinking about, the 80s, 90s, and I was thinking about things we don't do anymore, other than going outside. There's a lot. One of the things that I came up with was riding in the back of the truck. Riding in the back of the truck was something fun for a lot of the kids. When their parents just wanted to joyride, or when they went to the grocery store, ran errands, did errands. And that was something that I got to do a few times in my life. When I was with my cousins, we rode in the back of the truck, and whenever their parents would go grocery shopping or shopping for school clothes, they would hop in the back of the truck and they would all go and fight over who was going to sit on the two humps. Of course, the two humps are where the tires were, and I know why we don't do it. It's because it's dangerous. What if they get into an accident and then who's in the back of the truck gets thrown out of the truck, or worse? So yeah, but back then we didn't think about stuff like that. To us, it was just fun. So yeah, sitting in the back of the truck was one of them. I don't see station wagons anymore. I don't even know if they exist anymore because of SUVs or other vehicles that probably took their place, but riding in the back of a station wagon was always fun, especially when I was with my cousins, because we would just look out the back of the window, and sometimes we would pretend to be driving backwards. We would be looking at the people in the cars behind us. We would just look at the scenery go by and just talk about what the future might be like. And that was just a lot of fun. It was a fun pastime for us. And so, yeah, riding in the back of the station wagon. Vacation Bible School. Is that still a thing? I never hear about it, but maybe it's still a thing. I went to Vacation Bible School once, and that was when I was 9 years old, or at least the summer that I turned 9. I think we had to go for 2 weeks. I can't remember if I went the full 2 weeks or not. I just know that I didn't like it at all. It was so boring. Excuse me. It was so boring. The teacher was mean, and none of the kids really had fun. It was just something parents wanted to send us to so that they could clean the house, or so they could get stuff done, so they could get their cooking done, or talk on the phone, just have quiet and peace in the house for a few days or a couple weeks. But we didn't like it. We wanted to go home. We wanted to go out and play. So Vacation Bible School was just no fun for us. Yeah, I know we're learning about Jesus and Daniel and all of them and the disciples, but we want to go home and play. None of that mattered to us. What mattered to us was going home and playing. So yeah, Vacation Bible School is something that I don't hear about anymore. I'm pretty sure there are places that still do it, and there are still parents that force their children to go. But when I had to go, I didn't like it. Another thing was free lunches. When I lived in the projects in the early to mid 80s, there was this one lady who gave free lunches to all the kids in the neighborhood. And it was like a simple ham sandwich or bologna sandwich with cheese and milk. And you got an apple, and that was it. And you could eat the sandwich either at her house, or you could eat it outside. She preferred for the children to eat it outside. And she was really mean. She was kind for giving all the children sandwiches, but she was so mean. And now that I look back on it, I understand why. When you got a bunch of kids in your house, they don't respect other people's things, and they want to mess with your stuff, and they want to knock stuff over, and they like to fight sometimes. And so she didn't want any of that. And plus, a lot of times kids don't like to pick up after themselves. So she made the rule that you couldn't leave any of your trash behind. You had to pick up after yourself or you wouldn't get a lunch. You could not use her bathroom. If you had to use the bathroom, you had to leave immediately and go home to your own bathroom. If you used the bathroom on the way to your house, oh well, that was not her problem. But it was very sweet of her to do something like that. And it always came in a paper sack. And if you ate outside, you could not leave your trash in her yard. You had to take your trash home with you and throw it away in your garbage can. And so that's something I don't hear about anymore. I'm surprised that lady didn't make the news, because she really did something commendable for the community that I stayed in at that time. I'm pretty sure she only did that once. And so it was something I wouldn't do. I would probably take free lunches to the neighborhood, set up a table outside, and do it that way. But I would not give it out of my house. I'm sorry, that's just me. Another thing I don't hear about a lot. Actually, I did hear about it recently, but it's been a few years. People selling plates out of their house. They cook a dinner and meat, 2 veg, and sometimes a dessert, and they give you a price and they sell it out of their house. I used to see that quite a bit in the projects. When my mom had to live with my aunt, there was their neighbor who used to cook like fried fish and maybe some french fries or salad, and she would sell it out of her house. Sometimes there were chicken wings, and but the dinner could consist of anything. It could be barbecue ribs, it could be smothered cabbage, smothered pork chops, just something delicious that maybe a person who can't cook or a person who doesn't feel like cooking, they could order themselves a plate and they could eat it. And you don't see that anymore. It could be like a health code thing, I don't know, but I don't see that a whole lot. But it was just something that people did to earn extra pocket cash, or to help pay rent or bills, or to raise money for their kids' school, or for school clothes. Just something that people did that I just don't see anymore. Another thing was kids, do they still do this in school? Kids selling candy or donuts. You bring the form home and you take it to your parents, and your parents take it to work or to church, and they get people to sign up for and pay for this candy and donuts. I used to hate doing that. A lot of times it was required, but there was a time when I stopped doing it because it was too much of a hassle bringing the candy home, because they would put all this candy in boxes and you would have to take the box home with you. If you walked home, oh my God. And so I hated doing that, but we had to do it. And so if we brought the boxes home, they didn't care if people didn't sign up for it. What you would do is give the box of candy to your mom or to your dad, and they would take it to work with them. They would get people to buy it, and they would bring you home the rest of the candy and the money. And so that's something I don't hear about anymore. Another thing was Avon. and Mary Kay. Mostly Avon. Going to church, there were a few people who would sell Avon, and my mom would buy perfumes. She would buy some for me and some for herself. We would get bubble bath and the scented talcum powders and stuff like that. And I miss that. You could still get Avon, you can order it online, but people used to set up businesses doing that. You would get people come to your house, or you would go to them and you would ask them if they want some Avon, and they would look in the catalog, mark off what they wanted, and then you would send in for the order, and then a couple weeks later you got your stuff. I can't remember if you had to pay up front or not, but that was just one thing that I always enjoyed, was getting Avon, because it felt girly. It felt, I do have some Avon perfumes now that I got a few years ago, and it was a few of my favorites, like Sweet Honesty, Odyssey, Night Musk, and those were my absolute favorite. Timeless was my for real favorite. I love Timeless to this day. And buying Avon, I'm just kind of addicted to perfume. I have loads of perfumes, and so buying Avon was just the thing to do back in the day. I didn't get to know about Mary Kay until the early 2000s, when my former sister-in-law used to sell it. I went to one Mary Kay party at this woman's house in Vestavia or Inverness or wherever she stayed at. I just know it was a beautiful home in a beautiful neighborhood. And I used to get this magenta colored lipstick that very soon went out of production for some reason. They need to quit getting rid of my fuchsia and magenta lipsticks, because those are my favorite colors, and those are what I find look best on me. But yeah, those are just a few of the things that I don't see anymore, or I don't hear about them anymore. Tell me in the comments below some of the things that you used to see that you miss, or some things that just aren't done anymore that I may have missed, because I'm pretty sure there are some. But for now, you guys, I'm going to go. As usual, there is a donations link in the description box. If you would hit that, help support me and my channel, you will be helping me out more than you could ever possibly realize. I love you guys very, very much. Thank you so much for wasting time with me. I hope to see y'all on the next upload. Bye for now.